How many times have you found yourself in that position? Someone looks at you with disdain, acts like you're insignificant. The sting of disrespect burns, doesn't it? And the natural urge is to react, to fire back, to show them they're wrong, that they have no idea who they're underestimating. But what if, this time, you decided to do something different? Because true power, believe me, isn't in how you respond, but in choosing not to respond. Think about it. They act like they know everything, like they hold the ultimate truth. They expect you to explode, to lose your cool, to play their game. They want drama. They want a spectacle, proof that they got to you. But what if you refuse to give them that? What if, in the moment they expected a reaction, you chose silence? Not out of weakness, but out of wisdom. Because, you see, silence, real silence, is a weapon few know how to wield. It's not the silence of fear or submission. It's that deep silence, like the calm of an ocean before the storm. It's a conscious choice not to let their energy enter your life. It's a reminder that you own your mental space and won't give it away to anyone for free. Maybe you've never thought of it this way, but every time someone provokes or disrespects you, they're testing you, probing you. They want to know if they have the power to throw you off balance. And what do most people do? They react instantly. They lose control, give in, hand over exactly what the other person wants. But what if, this time, you held on to that power? What if your silence was the response they never saw coming? Did you know that silence can create more doubt than 1,000 words? It's unsettling because it offers no clues. When you choose silence, you force them to deal with their own actions, with the weight of their words. Suddenly, it's not you who is uncertain, it's them. Picture this. They go home, lay their head on the pillow, trying to piece together what happened. They have nothing to hold on to, nothing to use against you. Because you didn't react, you didn't give them any ammunition. All they're left with is their own emptiness, their own arrogance to confront. And while they're busy filling the silence with questions and assumptions, you're already gone, at peace. What they don't realize is that by staying silent, you've built an unshakable space, a fortress no one can penetrate. Each second of silence is proof that you don't need to play their game to win. You've already won, because true power doesn't make noise. It's calm, solid. And that's exactly what leaves them off balance. Do you realize what you're doing here? By staying silent, you're choosing not to play their game. And that, my friend, that changes everything. It's as if you're holding up a mirror, not reflecting your reaction, but showing them only their own image, who they are, what they've done. They expected chaos, confrontation, drama, but what they get instead is emptiness, a silence that forces them to look inward and wonder, did I go too far? Did I do something wrong? Think about the power in that. They're used to dealing with reactions, fueling their ego with the certainty that they can provoke, manipulate, knock others off balance. But suddenly, you take that from them. You strip away the fuel that feeds their arrogance, their little game. All that's left is silence, and silence is like a fractured mirror. The more they look, the more they see themselves as they truly are. And while they struggle with this, trying to make sense of it, trying to figure out what's going on in your mind, you're at peace. You're no longer carrying the weight of their words, their disrespect. Now, they carry it. And in this game, the one who bears the weight of disrespect always loses. Silence isn't just the absence of sound. It's a presence they can't ignore. Because when you choose to be silent, it's like you're saying, without a single word, nothing you did is important enough for me to lose my peace over. Do you get it? They wanted to be relevant, to get to you, to take up space inside you. But the moment you stay quiet, you take all of that away from them. And now they're the ones starting to question. They find themselves thinking about you, about the words they said, about the way they acted. They try to fill the emptiness with assumptions, wondering what you're thinking, what you're feeling. It's almost as if the silence is magnifying their own flaws, their insecurities. And every minute that passes in silence is another minute of discomfort for them. It's curious, isn't it? How silence, something so simple and so basic, can become the biggest lesson someone can teach another. And the most interesting part? You're not doing this out of revenge or resentment. You're doing it because you chose to prioritize yourself, because you realize that no one has the right to enter your mind and take away your peace. Silence is your way of saying, I am the keeper of my peace, and there is nothing you can do to take it from me. So, next time someone disrespects you, think about this. Think about the power of not reacting, of letting them sit with their own words, their own actions. It's a choice that few make, because it takes courage, it takes strength not to respond. But those who choose silence, those who can stay strong and calm, even in the face of disrespect, they are the ones who truly have control. Because society teaches us that the loudest voice wins. But now you know that the real winner is the one who doesn't get lost in all the noise. The one who chooses silence also chooses to be unshakable. Let's move on to the third part, deepening the narrative around the power of silence and its psychological impact. This section will focus on the sense of freedom and personal mastery one can feel by choosing silence, leaving a powerful message about self-control and resilience. You know what's most interesting about silence? It creates an invisible yet impenetrable barrier. No matter how hard they try to break through, they can't reach you. Because while they're searching for a response, a reaction, you're protected by something they can't touch, your self-control. They get lost in their own actions, while you find yourself growing more at peace. And yes, I know it's not easy. The urge to respond, to confront, is natural. But true power lies in choosing the opposite. When you choose silence, you create a distance between you and the disrespect. This choice becomes a shield. Instead of being vulnerable, you're rising above. No matter what they say or do, you're miles away, untouchable. What's most liberating? You don't need anyone's permission to do this. You don't need approval from anyone to keep your peace. It's a choice that depends only on you, and that only you understand. You turn silence into a space of freedom, a space they can't reach because you hold the key and you're not giving it to anyone. Imagine this. While they lose sleep, trying to figure out what you're thinking, searching for answers that never come, you're using silence to build your own fortress. And this fortress is unbreakable because it's built from your decision not to react. They shout, and the echo comes back to them. They get lost in their own thoughts because you left no clues for them to follow. Silence becomes a maze where they're trapped, while you're free, living, moving forward. Of course, for many, this doesn't make sense. We live in a society that values confrontation, that teaches us the loudest voice is the strongest. But the reality is that true power is subtle. It doesn't need a stage or an audience. Real power is knowing you could respond, but choosing not to. Knowing you could fight, but choosing not to waste your energy on battles that aren't worth your time. Do you see the difference? Silence is an active choice. It's not passive, it's not submissive. It's you deciding to protect yourself, to reserve your energy for something greater. And in the end, you're the one who emerges stronger. Because while they wear themselves down, you grow stronger. While they're trapped in their own disrespect, you're free, immune, and at peace. So, it doesn't matter what others say. It doesn't matter if they try to make you believe that silence is weakness. Because anyone who truly understands silence knows it's an act of courage. They know that by choosing silence, you're choosing your own well-being above all else. And that's a choice that few are capable of making. When they finally realize that you're no longer playing their game, that you have nothing to prove, they'll start to understand that they never had control over you. That from the beginning, you've always been in charge of yourself. Because those who master silence also master their own destiny. Have you noticed? The silence you choose is actually the loudest sound they'll ever hear. It's a shout that echoes, not in you, but in them. With every moment you choose not to react, every second you stay firm and calm, they feel the weight of their own arrogance and begin to realize that you're different. That you're not someone who falls for cheap provocations. You're someone who has mastered their own mind and chooses what truly matters. And the curious part? For them, the silence becomes unbearable. They begin to realize that, in disrespecting you, they've created a chasm between you. A chasm they can't cross, because you didn't grant them that permission. And while they're lost, trying to figure out what's going on in your mind, you're living your life, free. You become untouchable. The most incredible thing about all this is that by choosing silence, you're choosing something much greater than just not responding. You're choosing your own peace, your own well-being. You're choosing not to let someone else's actions dictate your state of mind. What they think, what they want, it all stops mattering. Because you realize that your energy, your peace, is too precious to waste on someone else's ego. In the end, silence isn't about them. It's about you. About your choice not to carry the weight of someone else's actions, not to let yourself be trapped by empty words. And every time you choose silence, you're reaffirming your own strength. You're creating a space where only what you decide has a place. You're becoming unshakable, unstoppable. So, next time someone tries to throw you off balance, remembering this could make all the difference. Because silence is your most powerful statement. It's your way of saying, I am controlled by no one. I am the master of my own destiny. And each person who tries to disrupt your peace will realize that, instead of defeating you, they've only strengthened who you are. Choosing silence is choosing freedom. And it's in that freedom that you find true power. Because, in the end, those who maintain peace within are the ones truly at peace with the world. Don't let anyone dictate your worth. Your strength lies in the silence that speaks for itself. And that's the kind of power that nothing and no one can take away from you.